Good morning students. Today in this video session, so we are going to discuss about the new chapter, that is chapter number 4, Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom, it is in the first unit, last chapter of the first unit, the living world. So now in the second chapter we have studied that 5 kingdoms. Okay, there are 5 kingdoms. First one is Monera, the second one is Protista, third kingdom is Mycota, and fourth is plant kingdom, that is Plantae, or also called Metaphyta. Okay, next the last kingdom, that is Animalia kingdom, also called Metazoa. Okay, these are the 5 kingdom classification which is given by, as you know already, the R.H. Whittaker. R.H. Whittaker where gave these all 5 kingdom classification. There was 2 kingdom, Plantae and Animalia. Later on, by the invention of microscopic organisms and microscope advancement, so there was again, by taking more characters for classification, there is become a 5 kingdoms. Now at present there are 5 kingdom classification is there. So this is what the last kingdom, that is animal kingdom. We call it as kingdom Animalia or Metazoa. We also call it as a kingdom Metazoa. Okay. So now see the here all animals which are comes under this, all animals which are comes under the kingdom Animalia. Okay, Animalia. So here I have taken the characters first before going to the classification. General characters or silent features, we can say general characters or general characteristics or features. Okay, features of this kingdom, that is Animalia or Metazoa. What you call Metazoa? Meta means higher, zoa means related to animals. Metazoa. Metaphyta for plant, phyta means plants, there higher plants are studied, because here why meta we are using, higher organisms we are discussing, higher animals we are discussing in this kingdom Animalia. Even the organisms which are unicellular and they are showing the properties of animals, some are showing animals properties which comes under unicellular, and some are unicellular, they are showing the properties of or features of Plantae, features of other kingdoms which are kept under Protozoa kingdom, Protista. Okay, so protozoans are comes under Protista, unicellular, okay, like amoeba, euglena, they are comes under Protozoa, as you know. Okay, already that you have studied. Okay. See here, there was unicellular, but they are showing the properties of animals. Animals means, for example, heterotrophic mode of nutrition, such and motility is there. So such many features are related to animals, but they are kept under, that's what taxonomical misfits, we can say. Some examples, okay, like this Paramecium, euglena, okay, they are showing the properties of both animals as well as plants. Okay, so that's why they are considered in one group, that is Protista, okay, unicellular, and Mycota related to fungi. Okay, all fungi are comes under that one, and next Plantae, all plants are comes under Plantae. Next, all animals are comes under kingdom Animalia. Okay, so now let us we take the characteristics feature or characteristics or silent features of kingdom Animalia. Okay, Animalia or Metazoa, also called Metazoa. Okay, so here I have taken the important features of this kingdom, that is first one. Let us take the first one. They have eukaryotic cells. See, there are, of course, in the second line I have taken here multicellular. All are multicellular here. Any animal which comes under kingdom Animalia are multicellular. They are multicellular. Remember, multicellular, but nature of cell is eukaryotic. As you know, eukaryotic means it's a complete cell, okay. But don't think that all eukaryotes are comes under animal kingdom, okay. So the animals which are comes under this kingdom are having the cells, no, that cells are said to be eukaryotic because true nucleus is present, understood, true nucleus is there. So that's why we call it as eukaryotic cells, and that cell must shows, okay, that cell should not shows that the cell wall, the cells without cell wall. And one more thing is here, that is plastids are also not there. What you call plastids are absent, cell wall must be absent, plastids must be absent. Plastids means they are photosynthetic things, so that is cell organelle which are unique for plant cell, okay. So they are found in the plant cell, plastids are not there in the animal cells, understood. So next, photosynthetic pigment is absent. Of course, plastids are absent means photosynthetic pigment is also, plastids are nothing but chloroplast, we call them chloroplast, leucoplast, or yes, xanthoplast, like there, okay. There are different types of plastids are there, but plastids are absent here, okay. Next, photosynthetic pigment, that is what we call chlorophyll, okay. So what the green pigment we call, no, so that is absent here, okay. In animals, that is animal cells, that is absent, okay. So that's why eukaryotic in nature, the cell nature is eukaryotic without cell wall, plastids and photosynthetic pigment, understood. Next one, the second character you can take, which are multicellular. Of course, it is multicellular. All animals must shows multicellular, either it is very lower organism or higher organism, that is said to be multicellular, understood. So multicellular. Next, the cells are organized, that cells are, how they are organized, cells are organized into either tissue level, directly I am taking here tissue level, okay. So organization, they are become a tissue, okay, the similar cells grouped to form a tissue, so that is performing a unique function, okay. So what we call division of labor, the activities are one work is done by group of cells, one particular function is done by a group of cells, that is called tissue, as you know. Next, the organs, okay, organs. So the different tissues are combined, or in a particularly they form a organ, okay, that is also performing a function, okay, organ. And next, organ system, different organs are combined to form a organ systems. In this way, the cells are arranged into tissue, either organ or organ system. In higher animals, we can see the organ system. In lower animals, like sponges, in sponges, okay, organ. So in case of even in earthworm, we can see the organs and even organ systems. In Coelenterata, tissue level, okay. In Porifera, only tissue level you can see, okay. Even cellular level is also there in very few examples like sponges, cellular level in sponges. Later we will discuss that in detail, okay. So you should remember, this is the, yes, the animals shows the multicellular in nature, okay, they are multicellular. Next, mode of nutrition, nutrition means that is how they are getting food habit, okay, how they are taking food. So that means whether they are dependent or they are preparing their own food, that is what the mode of nutrition we call heterotrophic. All animals shows the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, heterotrophic mode of nutrition, very important, it is heterotrophic. Another term is that autotrophic, opposite to that autotrophic mode of nutrition means, so they are nourishing themselves, like plants are preparing their own food, as you know, photosynthesis, they are showing the photosynthesis, either photosynthesis, chemosynthesis, like, okay. So they are not taking food from others, okay. So that is what autotrophic, okay. These are the animals are depends on plants, so hence heterotrophic, we call it as heterotrophic mode of nutrition, Okay, nutrition means nourishment, we can say. Nourishment is depends on others. We are getting food from other source, so that is called heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Understood? Next, all animals shows heterotrophic mode of nutrition. There is no animal either irrespective of color, body color of animals. No sir, some green frogs are there which are there in the tree. That is another thing. Okay, the body skin color or body color, whatever color, if it is green, they are not said to be autotrophic. Okay, of course plants shows green color, they are autotrophic. Understood? Because of there is a green pigment, chlorophyll is there, even xanthophyll are there. Okay, so they are trapping the sunlight, and by utilizing the raw materials like carbon dioxide and water, they are able to produce their own food. Carbohydrates can be prepared, but no animal is able to produce the carbohydrate, that is photosynthesis is not conducted, hence they are said to be heterotrophic. Understood? Next one, they shows sexual reproduction. Almost usually they shows the sexual reproduction even in lower organisms. There may be a asexual reproduction also there. For example, in sponges, simple bud is there. So the bud can produce the new yes, even in hydra, coelentrates also buds are there. In sponges also buds are there. Later on we will discuss that details according to the class, okay, class wise or phylum wise, we will discuss that. Okay. So now remember, both sexual and in higher cases, higher animals, sexual reproduction is common. Sexual reproduction is quite common, and asexual reproduction is observed in lower organisms like sponges, coelentrates. Okay. In lower invertebrates, especially all vertebrates shows the sexual reproduction, even in higher vertebrates also shows the sexual reproduction only. Okay. So asexual reproduction is observed in case of sponges, example. Okay, you all give vertebrates, no doubt. So there is a both type of reproduction is there, but more common reproduction is sexual type. Okay, what is sexual and what is asexual reproduction, that will be studied in higher level classes. Okay. Next, they are motile. What is? See, they are motile. Motile means what here? See, they are movable. They can move from one place to another place. That is called motile. That nature is called motile. This is also one of the feature of animals. But some adult lower what do you call animals? Lower animals. So they are not motile, they are said to be sessile. Sessile means they are attached. For example, sponges are attached to the in water, they are exclusively aquatic, which are there in the water, and they are attached to the substratum, either rocks. Okay. Some other animals, see anemone like coelentrates may also attach to the substratum. Okay. So like if they are attached, they are not moving themselves, so such animals are called sessile. Understood? They are said to be sessile. Okay. Next one, the motile means they have locomotory structures. Like in hydra, tentacles are there. Okay. So in higher animals, legs are there. In birds, wings are there. In insects, wings are there. So such the locomotory structures are there, which are helpful in nature. Yes. Next one is, that is, they shows developmental stages. Very important. Developmental stages here. So which we observed from embryo to adult. What you call embryo to adult. So after formation of embryo, that shows the developmental sequential development, we can say, a progressive. Okay, from embryo to it's a become adult. Okay. So in higher animals, its development is inside. Okay, inside the parent. Okay, either mother, we can say. But in some cases, insects are developed, eggs are hatched into a larval stage. For example, in case of insects, okay, larva stage is also there. If larva stage is there, we can say it has a indirect development, and if it is no larval stage, directly that is become a young one, that is called what we say, the direct development, indirect and direct development, that will also be will repeat once again that details. Okay. So, you should remember the developmental stages are here. So, which we observed from embryo to adult, a series of progressive changes are there. Okay. Next one, these are the what we call this characteristics or general features or common characters we can say. Okay. As you know, there are a huge number of animals are there on this earth. So, which are described till today, which can be studied with the help of the classification process. Classification is important here. Okay. So, now the basis of classification, on what basis they are going to classify these. So, especially the fundamental features are important, characterization, what we call characterization. So, we should describe the animal. Whenever we observe the animal in a ground, first of all we should understand whether it is an animal or whether it is an animal or any plant or anything it is. Okay. Based on these characters, and that animal comes under which group, which phylum, which kingdom, which family, genus, species. So, in this way the fundamental features are required here. Fundamental features are the common features, we can say common features common to various individuals. The various individuals shows the fundamental features. Fundamental means they are common. Okay. So, for that particular group of animals or individuals. Okay. So, here that is not considered a single character, common features, many features as per modern taxonomy, many features are required, not only based on single character we cannot classify the here. Okay. So, the many characters, fundamental characters are here. The arrangement of cells or level of organization, we can already discussing now, that is level of organization, level of organization is important here. Which level? Either tissue level organization is there, organ level organization is there, or organ system level of organization is there. That again we will discuss in detail. Okay. Next, body symmetry. Which form of body is there? Which form of body? Okay, that is symmetry, we can say symmetry. Okay. So, either radial symmetry, bilateral symmetry. Okay. Next, the nature of coelom. Okay. Coelom means here the what you call cylindron. Okay. The cavity, body cavity. So, it is related to body cavity, that also be detail we will discuss. Okay. Next, patterns of digestive system. So, how the digestive system is there and circulatory system is there. Either digestive system is what you call branched or unbranched, that is direct from mouth to anus. So, in some cases there is no anus. Okay. So, that is what here the digestive system is from mouth to anus in some higher animals we observed. In lower cases there is no anus. Okay. So, there may be in a planarium what we call that digestive system is branched. Okay. So, next, circulatory system, open type or closed type. Okay. So, here complete digestive system, if it is anus is there, complete digestive system or incomplete digestive system. And next, in circulatory system there is a open type of circulation or closed type of circulation. Okay. So, like a contrasting pair of characters what we are using in key. So, like on that basis also we are going to classify, and reproductive systems also important here. Such the basic common characters are used here to classify the organisms. Okay. The basis of classification is all these. Okay. Now, on what basis animal kingdom is classified? Okay. On what basis means the arrangement of cells is considered. This is also one of the feature, and body symmetry is considered, nature of coelom is considered, and patterns of digestive system, circulatory system and reproductive systems. All these are considered for the classification, not by single character. Understood? So, this is what the brief introduction and the general characters of kingdom animal. So, that is kingdom Animalia. Okay. So, let us in the next video we will discuss about one by one these arrangement of cell or level of organization, body symmetry, nature of coelom, all will be discussed in the next video. Okay. Thank you, students.